Good evening, Razorback fans. We want to welcome you to the weekly Women's Sports Report presented by Fordham Distillery in Middletown Valley, Maryland, as well as Bet Online, where you can head on over to Bet Online to use your mobile device or join today to make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE, BLE50, to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. And we are pleased to be welcomed by Arkansas volleyball star, senior graduate Gracie Ryan. Last night had to be a very special moment for y'all. I really want to appreciate your time. I know you've got a basketball game to get to. So, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to stop by and talk with us about your amazing season. First NCAA title berth in 9 years. So, as a graduate, as a senior, I know this means just as much to you as anybody on the team, and building a program up and now getting rewarded for it in your senior year.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. And yeah, it's been a really long ride. To be kind of a fifth year senior here and to be able to experience what we experienced yesterday and see our name up on that screen was just the most incredible feeling. It was just kind of a testament to all the work that we put in. And, especially last year, we fell short a little bit. And that really hurt, walking out those doors and knowing that we just fell short. So to see our name up on that screen yesterday and to know that, we have a spot and we have a chance to go kind of make some dreams come true was just awesome. And I think that we all walked out of that building with, the biggest smiles on our faces. And it was just an incredible feeling.
And earlier we got to talk to Jill and Taylor, and they were talking about, just how y'all were the last group to get named. And it's almost like, just that anxiety of last year, hey, you're getting in, but it's like they wait to the last. So, you have a huge chance to get in, but what was going through your mind when it comes down to that last section and you're just like, hey, come on now. Cause Taylor was like, hey, anytime now.
Yeah. We were sweating a little bit, I was like, I'm growing a beard over here. But yeah, it did. I think some of us were kind of joking a little bit, but a part of it, was starting to bring back a little PTSD, because I think last year was similar. We were waiting till the end, and we were like, well, maybe we're just, we're going to be put in the end, and then we weren't. And so, I think this year was a tad different. I think we were a lot more confident going into the selection show. So, a part of us were like, if we didn't get in, we thought it would be crazy, especially how many SEC teams they were taking. They took 7. So it was, I just think there was maybe a little bit of PTSD there that caused us to, form a little bit of a sweat. But, our coaches gave us a lot of confidence and really just calmed us down a little bit. And then we saw our name and we felt good and we were excited. So it all worked out. But yeah, they were pushing the line a little bit there at the end.
Well, and this is a thing that, for the people who haven't really followed along, 14 of your wins were 3-0 sweeps. You have 2 top 10 wins. You beat Georgia Tech 3-1, and then you split with Washington. And I want to go back to that Washington. I know it was the very first series of the year. And just the anticipation, but yet I'm sure there was some kind of intimidation too of, the pressure of coming in, you had something to prove, you had everybody coming back that you had, and then you add some key pieces, which Tatum, which we can talk about that part in the end, but just what was it like? Even though you got that split and you lost the second game 3-1, but what was the feeling when you beat Washington that very first game in Warren Hill?
Oh gosh. I couldn't think of a more incredible start to the season. I think it was such a great opportunity for us as a team to kind of really put our name out there and really just challenge ourselves. I think last year the past 2 years we've done better than before, like 4 or 5 years ago, but still I don't think that we had any teams, especially in our preseason, that really, other than like Kentucky and Florida, like any big name teams like that really challenge, that was like a big opportunity for us. And I think we just handled it so well. I know coming in, we were probably a little bit nervous, but I just think we were really excited about it. Like all of these girls on this team are super competitive and they want to win. And we kind of took the opportunity and we went with it. And I think it was a great challenge for us. So to see the way we played and the way we handled it was really encouraging and confidence building for the rest of our season.
Yeah. And we talked about those 14 wins being sweeps. I mean, you had a 6 sweep streak and then end the season with 5. So, I mean, do you think, being battle tested, I know you dropped the series that you really wanted the most, and what I would say the most anticipated season was the Kentucky, but to go without one of your stars in Jill and really have players step up, really have the team come together, and then you finish off with the 5 sweep streak. I mean, even if you won 6 out of your last 7 games heading into the NCAA tournament. I mean, what did that really, that point where your team comes together, you had it without Abby, without Jill, for the team to come together and really finish the way y'all did. What does that say about your team heading into, Saturday's game or Friday's game against Utah State?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the greatest things about this team is we have a lot of competitive depth, and kind of what that means is we just, and we were unfortunate to lose Jill and Abby for that short period of time, but we have everyone on our team works really hard, and the depth is awesome. So we have girls that are really that are pushing each other every day in the gym, that can kind of step into that position and do what they can for us and in those moments, especially when someone goes down. And so we had we had a couple people and we made some adjustments, and everyone who came in, especially Avery, she did great, and she's a freshman and she handled that position so well and with a lot of poise and bravery. So I think, every day in the gym, we push each other and we hold each other accountable, and we prepare for those moments, because the season's really long and it's really tiring and injuries happen. And I think that, those are the moments we prepare for in the gym every day, just for everybody to kind of be pushed to the best they can, and so that they can step into that role when they need to. So I think going into this tournament, it just, I think it shows that we're all really prepared. We're all ready for kind of this opportunity and this challenge. And I think it's going to be really special.
And, you look at the other women's programs and what is similar to the volleyball program. You look at what Coach Deifel's done with the softball program, Coach Hale's done with the soccer program, Coach Neighbors, and every one of them has had similar people that have been there to help build that program. And you being one that has really helped get to the volleyball program to where it is right now. I mean, what kind of badge of honor does that say to you? Your senior year, getting rewarded with this. I mean, what does that say to you? And what would you say to young girls going to play volleyball and wanting to become a Razorback, that hard work does pay off? And now in your senior year, you're getting rewarded by getting your name called and getting to become one of the greats. You're on the assist list. You're, you'll be forever remembered at Arkansas. So what does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think about, especially now being a 5th-year senior. I mean, you sit here and you're kind of like, where did the time go? But it just, hard work does really pay off, and trusting your coaches and trusting your teammates is such a big part of that. I mean, they're there to help you. They're there to be resources for you and kind of being the best athlete you can be. And so all the resources here at Arkansas have been such a big help to just helping me kind of achieve what I've wanted to achieve. And so, yeah, just for all the younger girls out there going to play sports, my biggest advice is to be patient. Like, progress isn't linear, like it's such a long process, and you're not going to see this straight line you're going to have some periods of time where you might not, you feel like you might not be playing your best, and then you're going to have your highs. And so just to be really patient and to believe in yourself and to use the resources you have and yeah, just keep working hard. It's, especially as a freshman, seeing myself now versus freshman, it's just been such a crazy and rewarding journey. And so I'm, and I think everybody here can say the same for themselves, especially when they reach the end of the line.
And what do you think some of the biggest changes that you've seen, with the perception of women's athletics at the University of Arkansas? What Hunter Yurachek's been able to do, and just the support, all the coaches, just the support from one team to another. What have you seen in the biggest growth? I know we talked to Jill earlier when I interviewed. She was talking about being part of this committee, and there was a hard time getting from class or practice to lunch or something, and it was fixed that very next week. So, what have you seen? What growth have you seen? And but yet, what more could we do as media, as just a university, to really help keep this thing growing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I can put into words like what just all the Arkansas resources have done for us as student athletes. And, it's so much more than just the athletics. Like, they're focused on, John, as not to be cheesy, but they're focused on like doing everything they can to make you the best overall like person you can be, student wise, athlete wise, volunteering, all this stuff, like job opportunities, just like well-rounded. Like they put in so much time and effort, and media works their butt off, and you guys work your butt off on and giving us the recognition and the putting our name out there. And so, it just gives us, I don't know, I guess you guys, everything you do gives us such a confidence in ourselves, and it's such a big part of us believing in ourselves, like the work you guys put in. And so we can't thank you guys enough. And I mean, yeah, it's just been awesome. We're so thankful for everything that everybody in this program has done to kind of, to help us lift off and reach, especially like yesterday, reach that, that dream we've been wanting to reach for a while. So it's been incredible.
Yeah. And also your coach. I mean,
Oh,
one
absolutely,
of the nicest
yeah.
dudes. I've not been in a press conference, in a meeting or anything where he's thanking the media. I mean, I guess we can end it on this, and I know gets sappy, but sentimental, but this is a milestone for your program and for you and your team. But lastly, what does it mean to you and your teammates that you're able to do this for your coach, and someone who is well deserving as any other coach on the university? What does it mean to you and your teammates that you get to go out giving Jason and Coach Watson an NCAA title or NCAA tournament bid as you leave, your legacy on this university?
Yeah, I don't. One of the greatest things about Jason is I think through this whole process, he's done such an amazing job in convincing us that all we need is us. All we need is our team. We don't need to be anything more than that. We don't need to be anything more than who we are. And I just to be able to reach this point, not only for him but with him. I mean, he's been one of the biggest parts on us getting here, just how he's coached us and how he's guided us, and the encouragement he's given us and the direction. And so to be able to do this for him, and to be able to see him at Arkansas and his, all his work being kind of paid off, starting to get paid off. And, I couldn't think of anything better. I mean, he deserves it 100%. And the time and the effort he gives into his teams, is just awesome. I know some of the past years there's probably been some stressors, and so to see him just celebrate with us yesterday and kind of reach this point with us has been incredible. And I think we thank the world of him.
Well, for me, it's been an honor to be able to be a part of, covering the team and following this growth. And again, thank you for coming on, and you're about to head to the basketball game, and I really hope that they announce y'all and give y'all the praise, because and give you the credit that y'all deserve, and because y'all deserve to be on half court and celebrated just like any other sport. So again, thank you so much for coming on, and enjoy your night. I know it's going to be a quick run over to the Bud Walton, but again, for you and your teammates, enjoy tonight, because y'all deserve it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We're going to be celebrating for a while, and we're getting ready for this weekend. And I just appreciate you so much for reaching out to us, and hopefully it's going to be a really fun weekend. So we'll keep you updated.
That's right. Thank you. Hopefully there'll be many more.
Yes, sir.
Good luck. Well, that was Gracie Ryan. Again, I mean, what more can you say about the volleyball team and one of the nicest coaches, I mean, I've ever met at the university. I mean, and that's putting him up there with, Coach Deifel and Coach Neighbors, all the coaches that have really just put a stamp on this university, and to get snubbed the way they did. I mean, let's look at it. They had a similar record last year. They didn't have the key marquee wins, but that's the difference when you look at what Coach Watson did. He looked at what they didn't get to do last year, and he's like, well, how can I make my team better? How can I make our chances better? Not only are we going to play 2 top 10 opponents, but we're going to play them right off the bat. We're going to start our season off with number 8 Washington. And to put it in perspective, and this will change next year, Coach Watson said that they did this mainly because of the COVID stuff and playing back-to-back days. But not only, you got to play on Friday and Saturday, or, you're playing Friday, Saturday, or Saturday and Sunday. So you had, you won the first one 3-1, you lost the second one, but you got to put it in perspective. It would be like Arkansas football playing Alabama and beating them, and then you expect them to turn around the next day and do it again. I mean, that's a grand scheme of the emotions and everything that's went on. And then you play Georgia Tech in the Arkansas Challenge along with NC State. And NC State's not ranked, but at the time, they're a very good team. And you beat Georgia Tech 3-1. And then, again, to put it in perspective, you look at what the football team did with KJ Jefferson being out. You have a loaded squad. I'm not saying that, with Jill being not in the lineup, that it didn't. You still had other players, but she is one of the captains of the team, and she's one of the glue people that holds that team together. And for her teammates to rally around her, step up in her absence, and for her to come back against Georgia, went 5 sets, and then you ended up with 5-3-0 wins in a row, sweeps at Missouri. Again, that's where you playing back to back. It helps you because, like Coach Watson said earlier, you get them on Saturday, and then the prep for the next day is the same opponent. So it's not like so this is going to be a different animal when you come to playing Utah State on Friday, and then you got to turn around and play. If they win, they're more than likely going to play Oregon. Oregon's undefeated at home. So it's going to be one of those deals where you got to go to Oregon, but this team has a chip on their shoulder. Taylor had in the interview or the press conference today, she was like, they want to shock somebody. They want to make some noise. And I'm telling you, just like with what we'll get in when we talk about the women's basketball team, you give somebody a chip and you give doubt, they're going to shock some people. They're dangerous, and they have the talent to do that. So best of luck to the volleyball team as they head out to Eugene, Oregon to play Utah State. I originally said Saturday. It will be Friday, December 2nd at 6 p.m. I have not got a TV time, so be looking for it to be on some kind of stream, ESPN Plus or something like that. But we'll keep you updated with that. But again, moving on to, as we were talking about with the before we get into the basketball, we bring up the soccer team, and their run ended in the Elite Eight for the second year in a row. They lost at Florida State, the number 1 team in the country. Coming into this tournament, losing in that first round of the SEC tournament, I thought it would be a blessing in disguise. I thought it would be one of them ones where Coach Hale had talked about the SEC tournament is not really set up to be a big it's not for soccer. Soccer playing 3 games in 3 days. That's one of the most taxing sports there is. There's no timeouts. You're running around the field. Yeah, you can sub here and there, but there's no stoppage time. There's no added time. You're playing 45 minutes, get a little quick break, and then you're going 45 minutes again. So losing in penalty kicks to Vanderbilt in the first round. And then you had Missouri State first round. You got 6-0. The big matchup, Ohio State, was 5-2. And then, of course, the Memphis back and forth. And it just seemed like every time Arkansas would get ahead, Memphis would come back, and it went to penalty kicks. And then, of course, going to Tallahassee. But when you look back on the season that they had, I know that they've not ever won the SEC tournament, They've been one game away from the College Cup. But, I mean, look at where this program was before Colby Hill. I mean, look, the programs, when we're talking about programs and where teams were beforehand. I mean, you beat the great team in the country, South Carolina, 1-0. I mean, you tied with BYU. You're playing these teams that normally circumstances would, before Coach Hill, you're not even, you lose 2-1 at Alabama, which is in the College Cup. So another business-like coach who, I mean, has so much to play for, so many people to play for, and the seniors, Anna Potagil, B. Franklin, Jessica DeFlippio, Grace Barber, which is, I mean, you talk about somebody who, for being here, being a graduate, being a transfer, every interview she's been in, she's been like that mouthpiece for the team. She's been that vocal leader of the team. And seeing, we don't know. I mean, this is the thing also, we're forgetting about COVID. Some of these seniors, we don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to go pro? Are they going to use their extra year? Do they have an extra year? So within the next couple of weeks, we're really going to see, with Shauna and McKenna and Reagan, Grace, Jessica, Anna, B, where they're going to go if they're going to come back. Because I'm telling you, earlier in the season, when Anna become the goal queen and the points queen at Arkansas, there was talk about, hey, she still has another full year of eligibility. So she said earlier in the year she was coming back, but we'll see what happens with that, and if she does indeed come back along with the others, if they come back. I mean, I know pro contracts and pro stuff is very lucrative when it comes to soccer. It is a popular sport, so we'll see what happens with that. But we'll wrap things up with the women's basketball team. And before we get into their Paradise Jam Championship, I mean, for this team to have the year that they've had so far, 8-0, but also they're outscoring their teams by 21 points a game on average. They're out rebounding. We had like a 40-point rebounding average. I put it out there on Twitter. You're holding teams to 56 points a game. And then you're not, they've sprinkled in some games like, of course, Pine Bluff, Central Arkansas. But, you're playing Tulsa, Kent State, Northern Arizona, Clemson, and Kansas State, which Kansas State was undefeated and had knocked off Wisconsin and Iowa before that game. And they won 69-53 to win the Paradise Jam. You played 3 games in 3 days. And for them to not be ranked, you've got 4 scores. Aaron at 16.8 points a game, Michaela Daniels at 13.8, Samara Spencer 12.8, Chrissy Carr at 12.4, and Sailor Poffenbarger at 7.9. Your 5 starters, you're 2.1 points shy of having every single one of your starters in double figures. And you're holding your opponents to 56.3 points a game. And you're not playing cupcakes. And I'll say it on this, but I won't say it on social media. But you got teams like LSU having the cupcake schedule, playing Arkansas Tech at Ozark and Roast Beef State. And they're number 11th. I mean, you're looking at teams that LSU's playing, and they don't even have logos. I mean, it's like these trolls on Twitter don't have any pictures in their bios. You're playing these teams that don't even have pictures or emblems or mascots by their name. And, of course, they're blowing through and undefeated because they're not playing anybody. But then you got a team like Arkansas that's 8-0, went in and beat a very good Northern Arizona team that had just come off 200-point games beforehand, played Clemson, beat them 70s, and that was a tough game. And I know that Clemson played South Carolina and got blown out, but in the second half, but it was a 3-point game at half. They just got wore out. I mean, and that's going to happen to anybody playing South Carolina this year. And then you go into the Kansas State game, and for them to come out, and I'll tell you what, I said it about a week and a half ago that watching Chrissy Carr shoot the ball, I said it's only a matter of time where she takes off. And I'm telling you that she took off. I mean, she's got 12.4 points a game, but I'm telling you, in the last couple of games, she's went off for 16 to 18, 20 points a game. I mean, she is dangerous. And I'm telling you, Aaron Barnes having the year of her life so far. Michaela Daniels, I mean, she, like I said earlier, she's bringing back her sophomore or her freshman year. She put up 30 points as a freshman with her senior leadership. I'm telling you, her and Samara in the backcourt, having Chrissy Saylor, and you get Miriam going. She's still kind of favoring that knee a little bit. And I think a lot of that's more mental than it is physical. But I'm telling you right now, this team is clicking. And when they get going on all cylinders, I mean, you take away their 3-point percentage, they're 31 from the 3-point line, but then they're 62%, 63% from the free throw line. They button down, which free throws comes into mental and physical at the same time. But I'm telling you, if they get clicking on all cylinders come SEC play, which they indeed get LSU first game in the SEC, they're going to be a very dangerous team. To win the Paradise Jam, I mean, again, Michaela Daniels MVP, Chrissy Carr all tournament team. I mean, you could have thrown Aaron in there. You could have thrown Saylor in there, because what's not shown, again, what me and Jacob talked about last night on the football part, and we were talking about the men's side, is the plus minus. And Saylor's led the team in plus minus every game. They've out rebounded their teams every single game. That has been the biggest when it comes to the Achilles heel of this team. They're letting teams like Tulsa out rebound you, Kent State out rebound you. That's not happening this year. They're out rebounding every single one of their teams. And I'm telling you, get on board now. And they're going to surprise you, because you've even taken away, when you're talking about scoring, Jersey, you got Emery Ellis that can come off the bench and give you buckets. Riley Langerman, they've even got her own term. You're doing Langerman things. She's a dog and will get you boards. She is that Dennis Rodman of the team and will get you boards. She's scrappy. She'll get her fouls, but she'll cause turnovers. She'll get in your face and cause other teams to really get off balance. This team, I'm telling you, fill up Bud Walton and go watch this team, because they're going to be very, very exciting to watch when it comes to SEC play. But they got a 4-game homestand coming up. They're going to be playing Troy, I believe, on Thursday. Yeah. And then, of course, Chelsea Dungy is a assistant there at Troy. So Thursday, December 1st at 7. I unfortunately will not be there. I'm going to be taking a little hiatus from today on, of course, what we announced, and I'll be back I'll probably be at the Arkansas State game on Sunday the 11th. But we are, going away on vacation, so we're kind of I'm going to take some time away from all the posting and the show. So again, we announced last night that we'll be taking a little break on our show. So this will be the last show until our Sunday night show on December 11th. So again, I really want to thank everybody who tunes in. Thank everybody, Gracie, for coming on. Again, another shout out to the SIDs who really make all this possible to really get us the guests, the coaches, to stay after hours and really watch along with the show, make sure things go cool and stuff. And for Gracie to, being recognized at the men's basketball team and to come on and give me 15 minutes of her time before getting to go watch the men's basketball team. But again, huge shout out to our fans. We love each and every one of you. You make it very interesting. We love the comments. We love the questions. We love the back and forth. So keep it coming. Keep any questions. And we love what we do. But that will do it for another episode of the Weekly Women's Sports Report. And we will catch you Sunday, December the 11th. Go Hogs.